Now, I love Framer, but when it comes to their carousel or slider component, it's a little bit limited. So in this video, I'm going to teach you how you can build your own advanced, fully customized carousel inside of Framer so you can build the site of your dreams. Let's go. Okay, we're going to do this in 3 parts. First, we're going to build a card component, which is going to hold an image. Then we're going to build a holder, which is going to hold all of our images within our carousel. And lastly, we're going to tie it together with some component magic. So here we are inside a blank canvas. I'm just going to draw a new frame here. Size doesn't matter too much for now, but let's just set the width and height. So it'll be 600 by 400. And I'm going to right click this and I'm going to go create component. And we're going to call this my image holder. And essentially, we're going to create this as a component and style it however I want my images inside my carousel to look. Now, the reason I'm making it a component is so I can reuse this over and over for any images inside my carousel. And it also means we can add a little bit more flexibility when it comes to animation or hover states or anything like that. So let's add a bit of a radius here. And let's just add a placeholder image for now. So I'm going to go to fill. Add an image in here, open up plugins, and let's find just something random. Okay, pretty cool. So I'm going to call this my default state. And I'm also going to set a hover state here, and I want to make it so that on my hover state, it shows some sort of text describing the image. So it might be a mountain in Greece, because I presume that's where this illustration is from. So I'm just going to change the styling here and we'll do something a little bit nice. Maybe we make this like white and a little bit bigger. And then maybe over the backgrounds here, we add a width of 100% and a height 100%. And we'll just set that to be over the very top. Drag our text in between, set layout to be on, move it to the ends, add some bottom padding. And then if I change this background here to say a gradient, then I'm going to create a really nice gradient over the top of my background image. Let's just style this so it looks a little bit nicer. Okay, now let's just make sure that it's not hiding on this default one here, because otherwise it's going to kind of jump in, just like if I preview it here, when I hover, it kind of just like jumps. But if we actually make it visible on this default state, but if we set the opacity to be 0 and then go back into my hover and set the opacity to be 100%, you'll notice when I preview this, it actually hovers in correctly now. Okay, this is looking great, and let's save this for now as our image holder. Now, the last thing I want to do here, because we're reusing this over and over, is actually want to set up some variables for this component. So the first one we'll set up here is for the image. So I'm going to create a variable for image and we'll call it image. And secondly, I want to set one up for my text here. So we'll set the content to be a variable for title. Okay, so now you can see inside this component here, I can set the image and the title. So next I want to create a frame which is going to be the holder for all of my images inside my carousel. Now again, I'm actually going to set this up as a component so I can have a bit more control, and you'll see why in just a minute. So for now, let's just set the width to be 100% and the height to be 100 VH. So it takes up the full height of the viewport. And I'm going to set the background color to be a cream for now. That looks very stylish. And now I'm going to select this frame here and we're going to create this as a component, and we'll call this our carousel holder. Now, just for a second, let's take this image holder and let's move it off the canvas. Now here I want to basically set up all of my images that are going to be inside my carousel. So we've got one image here, and all I need to do is just duplicate this a bunch of times and then update my content. Okay, so you can see now I've got 5 different images here, and we're just going to rename these 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Great. Now, what I want to do is actually select all of these, right click, and we're going to go add frame. And we'll just set the width and height to be auto on this. And we might increase this padding to say 15, 20 pixels. And the reason I set it to auto here is just in case I want to add an extra image in future, I can just add it to my stack here, and you notice everything will just flex to fit. But let's just leave 5 and let's call this our image grid. Okay, great. Now let's drag and drop this into our variant here, and let's just set it to be to the center and to the start. Now, if I preview this, obviously nothing happens, but we can actually use some component variants here and then tie them together with interactions to make this a fully customized carousel. So first things first, I probably want to add in some arrows here so I can navigate my carousel. So we'll just draw a new frame here. Let's set the width to be, say, 50. Where's it gone? Here. Make it a little bit bigger. We'll change the radius here to be 20, to be 16. We might add a border. And then inside here, I might want to add an arrow icon. Now, just like everything else in this video, we're going to utilize components once again for this element, simply so we can have a little bit more control around hover states and animations. So we'll create this as a component and we'll call this arrows. And this one's going to be our right arrow, and we'll create one more and we'll just rotate this. And this will be our left arrow. Now I could also add a hover state here, so we might make it that on hover, we're going to add a background color of a white, and we'll do the same for this one. Cool. Okay, pretty basic, kind of does what we need it to. Now we'll just style this how I want it. So just for now, I'm just going to turn layout off, and we'll have one here. We'll have another one of these components, but for the left-hand side here as well. We'll group these together inside their own frame. And again, we'll just set width and height to be auto, so we're not taking up any extra space. And we want to make sure these arrows are on the right, but we want to make sure our slideshow starts on the left. So to do that, we'll actually set the alignment back to the left. And then inside this arrows here, we can either just pin it through absolute positioning, and then these arrows here, what we're going to do is wrap it in its own stack. And we'll move it to the end here, just like so. And let's also just increase the gap between the arrows and the image. And lastly, let's just set the height of this variant to be fixed once again. And then inside this image grid, I'm actually going to set the positioning to be absolute. I'm going to make it so it starts on the very far left. Now, this is where we use a little bit of component magic to make this carousel work. Now, it's definitely not the most ideal solution, but if you know how many images and things like that you want, you can definitely make this work. So this first image here, since I don't want it pushing right to the edge, what I'm actually going to do is make it so it's pinned, say 20 pixels from the left. Now, all I'm going to do is actually create a new variant here. And then basically what we want to do is make this carousel move over 600 pixels, since that's the width of the image here, for the next image. And we're essentially going to repeat this process. So this would be image number 3, so we would move it over. We would also have image number 4 here, so again, we'll just keep on moving it. And so on until we have completed the rest of our carousel. Cool, now let's just label these. So we'll call this one 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, so everything's nice and neat. Now, this looks good and all, but obviously we haven't made it interactive yet. So to do that is pretty simple. All I'm going to do is select this arrow component here, and you notice we've got this little trigger. I can also do this by clicking on interactions at the top right of my properties panel and clicking on new transition. And we're going to make it that when someone clicks on this arrow here, we're going to jump to variant number 2. And then when they do this on variant number 2, it's going to jump to variant number 3. And essentially, we're just animating between all of these. So we're going to go to 3 to 4. And then lastly here, we're going to go to number 5. And then we want to do the same on the back arrow as well. Now, obviously, on the first one, it's not going to do anything yet. But let's say on number 2, we want to add a new transition that on click, it goes back to number 1. On number 3 here, it goes back to number 2. And you get the idea. Cool. So now if I preview this, you will notice that I can click these arrows and it will kind of jump across to the next image in my set. Now this is like the basic way of actually achieving this, but we can take this a whole lot further to make it a whole lot smoother. So the first thing I'm going to do is select the primary component here, go into transition underneath my styles, and we're going to make this a little bit smoother. So I normally just set the stiffness to be 150, and you preview this, and when you notice I click, it's a little bit smoother in terms of how it transitions to each of the images. We could also make it that when you're on a certain slide, the width of that image might be a little bit longer. So I might set it to be like 800 here, 800 on this one when it's selected. And we'll just work backwards here. But essentially all Framer is doing is transitioning between these components, meaning we can kind of control the styling however we want. So again, let's preview this. And you'll notice that kind of as I scroll between these variants here, we get this really nice sort of like shrinking and growing animation. And then when I hover on these, it's going to have my titles here as well. So if we got rid of the background color, essentially this is a component that I can just drag and drop into my project here. So we'll set the height to be auto. And let's just add layout on here, center it to the canvas, and add our background image, and add our background color. And then you'll notice when I preview this, we have a fully working custom carousel inside a Framer that looks super sweet. And that's how you build a custom carousel or slideshow inside a Framer. Now, if you want more Framer tutorials like this, consider subscribing to the channel because we're putting out new Framer tutorials every week for free on YouTube in 2025. And if you want more content and goodies from us, we're actually hosting an online conference built for web designers that again is completely free next month from the 18th to the 20th of Feb. If you want to sign up, go to frontrow.events. Or if you want plugins and education on Framer, head to insertframe.io. But until next time, I'll catch you later.